That you died to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't had to die to meet the devil.
I remember I was only 13 when I met the demon. Gave me a deuce and a bundle of cocaine. Told me to sell to my people, make sure you keep me feeling. If any try to show you, make sure that you leave leaking. He said,
I'ma hold you down when problems pop up.
how you got me moving this dope? Want me in lockup? He said,
Don't you want the best vertical with the top up?
Yeah.
Stop, bitch, get in that kitchen, let it rock up. Bitches love the dope boy, especially when it's pop up. I know you know why.
who the plug from by the block up?
I'll tell you a little secret, make sure that you keep your mouth shut. Ron got a Lexus, crib in Philly and Texas. Tristan love Bahamas, Scott live for his mama. He fucking up them commas, be honest, he seen decent though.
I hear you, but I just seen Ron about a week ago. Fat, he ain't looking too good. His knees is kinda slow. I asked him why the struggle, he got stuck up for his bundle, but them 6 hollow tips in his legs would made him crumble.
He got a house, his mama is living good.
Said the feds took it all, he right back in the hood. I see you try to play me, you gave us crack in the 80s. Made us abort our babies and making hoes out our ladies. I know you got me gravy, but Satan, you must be crazy. It's gonna take more than cars for to amaze me. I seen niggas shoot for the stars, but being lazy. Never get their head at the cloud, so you don't face me.
I guarantee that you gon' regret it, remember I said it.
No, you could dead.
What you saying, I can't win?
No, devil, nice try, so until we meet again.
I ain't had to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't had to die to meet the devil. I ain't religious or superstitious, but we been getting fucked up to the side like a mistress. Police patrol a while because prison became a business. They murder on the laws and they start talking about forgiveness. We think that it's alright because we got public assistance. If this ain't hell, dog, what is this? Where was all lives matter when they killed Osama? There was no peace talk like the Dalai Lama. Bush dropping bombs saying he gon' bring the drama. They got justice, man, they even caught the boss Obama. But when we ride, they send the military in armor. When we fight oppression, then our people die martyr. You reap what you sow, some people call it karma. When Christ return, y'all gon' get this harvest like a farmer. Don't tell me don't bring up the past no more. They still trying to settle the score with a side of Shakur. I changed my life and I'm just trying to live life right. But at night I look behind me and see flashing lights, patting me down. Got nothing that's poking me right. I don't smoke or push pills, I give up my fight. So Mr. Officer, why you wanna take my life? And your honor, why you gave our homeboys life? I've been wondering why you shot our homeboy twice. Pussy with a gun screaming out that he got a knife. He came from Habibi's spot, it was chicken and rice. Shit's tripe, I'm just giving visuals like Skype. Ask Trayvon, Mike Brown, the Kai Girlie, Eric Garner, Sean Bell, Philando, Olden, Sterling, Jaquan McDonald. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. I ain't had to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't had to die to meet the devil. I ain't had to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. I pray for the demise of the devil. Lord knows I despise every devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. Said I pray to die every devil.
Hey yo, my regiment is wake up in the morning pissing excellent. Think you fucking with me, then you must be on that mescaline. Every track is evident, it's evident. All these rappers are relevant. Kill them all and never show no sentiment. Gonna touch the microphone for pro bono, show me the Benjamins. Only politicians that use was a dead president. Cash rules everything around me, get the Entenmann's. And I'm charging you double if you're an Eminem or Kevin Federline. It's for my son's benefit, so every track is eminent. Bear witness to this testament. Round here, I'm working harder than a bunch of Mexicans. First mixtape, and I'm sounding like a veteran. Leave them feeling like they were drawn straight off of heroin. Greatest of all time, they ain't many that's better than. We won't lie, them kids from the lost tribe. Dawood Kata's I rep it for the most high.
I do bomb atomically, rap's anomaly. I'm a prodigy of prophecies, theories and philosophies. I gotta be the only man alive with these qualities. And I don't wanna brag, I want my people out of poverty. So burn down Sodom and all its wicked societies. And free us from the white man, democracies and policies. Economies and colonies, monopolies and policies. Fuck it, free from the white man entirely. I'm diabolical from my follicles to my molecules, unstoppable. Got all my enemies in my optical, methodical. The way I'm eliminating these obstacles. This is what I gotta do, never has it been optional. My words are a weapon, you other rappers is kinda hype. But I'm the type to grab the mic, turn it into dynamite. And smite any rapper that be biting like a parasite. If I don't get you now, then I visit you in the afterlife. Shut the fuck up.
Come on a little louder.
Just shut the fuck up.
Everybody in together now.
Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
What's that I hear?
Just shut the fuck up.
Come on a little louder.
Shut the fuck up.
Everybody in together now.
Just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up.
I ain't a people pleaser. I ain't a people pleaser. I don't like people either. I don't care if it Nas a jigger and wanna meet you. Just give me my motherfucking check if we do a feature. Tell Michael Jordan he can keep his fucking sneakers. Walk inside your favorite church and just drop your preacher. Cause he ain't gonna drop the right shit that he should teach you. But what about Obama? Nigga, I don't like him either. What has he done for us? 6 years or plus. All our leaders only care about in God we trust. But do they trust in God? It's all a facade. See through the mirage, diamonds in the cars. They got $1 million houses, have you seen ours? See, we get mesmerized and fail to recognize that they don't sympathize, cause now they living better lives. Cause they got some money, we see them as demigods. But they'll be sleeping in that same place when that semi-fives. You ain't bigger than me, ain't God, ain't Christ, the Father figure to me. You just another nigga to me. We breathe the same air, fuck if you richer than me. Ain't never been iller than me. I got bodies on the track, you ain't no killer to me. You just another nigga to me. We both gon' die one day, you ain't no different than me.
Aiming at them ass eating pastors, 3-piece suited up, fuck about your status. It's gon' get you oozed up. Kingdom suffer violence while you tiptoe like a murderer. Stuff for ransom in them while standing from the murderer. And you never consider the hoe who can't afford shit. Riding under limousine, hiding like they rolled in. Bitches think they so slick, left the people hopeless. Bullets through them decorators, speeches shoot for foes with it in case you haven't noticed. Christ the president soldiers, honey, ain't 44,000 ain't bringing no roses. Fuck about you penny chasers, bitch I'm a henny taster. And they got that thing leaning into the city greater. Death to all you Jimmy bakers, for black voters. Now all them in them black coffins. Crimes take your crimes, ready to make wars so you hoes just don't have to lay them down.
You ain't bigger than me, ain't God, ain't Christ, the Father figure to me. You just another nigga to me. We breathe the same air, fuck if you richer than me. Ain't never been iller than me. I got bodies on the track, you ain't no killer to me. You just another nigga to me. We both gon' die one day, you ain't no different than me. 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 Ain't God, ain't Christ, the Father figure to me. You ain't no different than me. You ain't no different than me. You ain't no different than me. We both gon' die one day. You ain't no different than me.
it like that, and we do it like this. We do it like that, and we do it like this. Yeah.
Swing low, Lord, get me out this plantation. I ain't on the block no more, no grams weighing. I don't even bed no hoes, my ribs stay in. Try to keep them humble and never run in the streets. My kids speaking Hebrew, so you know that I teach. It's hard, gotta hold on, trying to keep up the peace. I'm waiting on your son to return and cut off the beat. Till then, I'ma be in war mode and face east. I know I don't deserve a second chance, but I take it. That's why I don't slow down no more, and I don't blaze it. Satan still want me back, he gotta face it. Smoke don't touch these lungs, I'm feeling strong again. Lost a couple LBs, even started the job again. I get suited up now, and I ain't talking about cardigans. Boots laced up in gear, ready for battle. The enemy is listening, Lord, but I ain't rattled. You made a nigga feel it, some niggas scared of their shadow. I'm seeing lost niggas in these groups on the tube. You could've put me with them, yes, that's mercy from you. You put me front of Jilla, YAHANNA, I can't lose. He took a drug dealer that probably should make the news and turned into a prophet. My family is still confused. It seems they like the old me best. Sorry to say, I ain't gotta drop an old me left. So I pray that the slave master see death every day. I hear the bell toll and hope I'm the one chosen. When that chariot swing low, Lord, let me roll it.
We're doing this for Yahweh and Yahushua. Go to war for our people like Mordecai. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die. But please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Every day is a struggle just to stay alive. It's dark and hell is hot and I don't wanna feel the fire. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die. But please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Well, come on. Won't you please swing low, sweet chariot? Won't you please swing low, sweet chariot? What you know about sacrifice? Nothing, they bluffing, these niggas perpetrators. Man, the God, the shit is disgusting. I put my time in while they ain't even applying. Through all the pain, hate, confusion, and the lying, I stay grinding with the heart of a lion. The storm through the storm till I found that silver lining. Without no pressure, there's no diamonds. I went straight into the furnace of affliction for refining. Came a long way to stash the bills when I heard the sirens getting higher. Hold up, moment of silence. Just a moment, y'all. Cause that man is dead and deceased. Gained knowledge, found peace, shook the mark of the beast. Only fear God and not another man who bleeds. And if you roll with me, you already know my steez. I come through, give the death, they holler, what up, priest? Then I quick to chop the Christian with ease. Then I go and put the sword back.
Got feedback on the mic. All right, Shalom, Israel. We are the I.S.U.P.K. We start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York City, under Commanding General YAHANNA. Established in 1969, we teach the truth according to the Bible that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel. Again, the I.S.U.P.K. is not affiliated with any other Israelite group. All right, we are the original school, the home of the truth. If you want to know the truth, you know where to come find it, man. All right, so today what we're going to be doing scripture breakdown class is Monday. If anybody online has any questions, feel free to ask your questions. Make sure you like and share this video. It's always good that you attend class, but let's share the class so we can start, producing more views, getting the truth out, and spread it all across the earth. All right, so do your part. And just like I said, like and share the video. Today's specific topic is going to be Christmas, man. We're going to talk about Christmas today. Like, Christmas is coming up October 25th. Today is the 16th, I believe. Today is not October, December 25th. Today is the 16th, so we got about a little less than 10 days before that holiday that that everybody in the earth celebrates in America for the most part, that everybody in America celebrates, called Christmas. It's said to believe that Christmas is Jesus Christ's birthday. Of course, Jesus Christ in the Bible. And, so for that reason, Christians celebrate Christmas. Non-Christians celebrate Christmas because to the non-Christians, to people who are not Christian and don't believe in Jesus Christ, there's really not much about Jesus Christ in Christmas at all. They celebrate, they get Christmas trees and ornaments and, the Christmas lights. And they also have gifts. So, everybody likes gifts. So it's just a holiday that everybody celebrates. But of course, they say that it's Christ's birthday.
and they say that this is a day, you know, that we supposed to be giving gifts and so on and so forth. But in the I.S.U.P.K and the Commanding Journey YAHANNA, we know the truth about Christmas. We know where Christmas originated. We know who originated Christmas and what it was really about in its origin. All right. So what we're gonna do is pull a couple of scriptures, and we're gonna also get a little bit more deeper into Christmas and where it come from. I'm gonna get an article. If I could have you, brother, let me get let's start with Amos chapter 5 verse 21. All right. Again, if you have any questions online, please please feel free to ask the questions at any time. And we're going to be bringing out this about Christmas, but you know, this breakdown in this Bible is going to pretty much cover all of these holidays that man created, all of these traditions that man created. Our people, being so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, celebrate these holidays ignorantly. We ignorantly celebrate these holidays. We say it's for this reason, we say it's for that reason, or it's not because it has nothing to do with the pilgrims or Thanksgiving, just spending time with family, you know, eating turkey with family, or it has nothing to do with, you know, whatever. You know, they always find that reason for celebrating it ignorantly, but the Lord said that, you know, he hates and he despises our feast days. When he says our feast days, he means that the feast days that we made, the holidays that we made, we created. So no matter what you're celebrating it for, is not to be celebrated. There's holidays or holy days, you know what I mean, in this case, that the Lord gave us. And these holy days are the only holy days that he told us that we should celebrate and observe, all right? So let me get what you got, Doc, really quick.
The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days.
Read it one more time.
I hate.
I what?
I hate.
I hate. You understand? It says I hate. The Lord says he hates. And why does he say he hates? Because he knows that these days that we celebrate in America are vain, man. They're foolish. They have nothing to do with our people. And if you are out there and you call yourself so-called pro-black or, you know, any of these blackity-black organizations, everybody's so-called African and black power, you celebrate white supremacy on Christmas, man. That's what you're celebrating. You put all of that blackity-black stuff to the side when you celebrate Christmas, man. You put all of that black power and that pro-black this and pro-black that, you put all of that to rest when you celebrate Christmas, man. Christmas is a holiday of white supremacy, man. You understand? Because it shows how much we love our oppressors when we go out and we celebrate their holidays and make them stinking rich and end up getting more poor in the process, man. They look at us and they look at how greatly they destroyed us and how we just so ignorantly continue to fall into their traps and their snares and their nets, man. You understand? Like, brothers and sisters are dying behind holidays like Christmas, man. You know what I mean? Like, we're already struggling as black people trying to put food on the table, trying to keep the lights on in the house, trying to keep the roof over our head. And then for Christmas, we got to just for some reason, we just got to get gifts. We got to get this for such and such. We got to get that for such and such. We got to, and brothers and sisters are going to extreme measures to accumulate funds to buy gifts, man. Even as much as hustling drugs, stripping in the club, robbing and stealing, you understand? Like, and which is a big thing, man. Like that robbing and stealing, like people rob each other in the holiday seasons, man. Black people are out committing crimes, trying to get that money, and they end up in jail for Christmas. Right. They end up in jail for Christmas. They end up spending Christmas in jail while their families are sitting there mad and upset because you're in jail and they don't have no gifts. It's just a very hateful and evil holiday, and that's why the Lord says this. Read it one more time.
I hate.
All right, what?
I hate.
I hate. Go ahead.
I despise your feast days.
He said, I hate and I despise your feast days, man. I hate and I despise your feast days. The Lord cringes at the thought of Christmas, man. He cringes at the thought of Christmas. He cringes at the thought of Thanksgiving, at the thought of, Halloween or Valentine's Day, all of these days that man made to celebrate. You know what I mean? So we're going to read it one more time if you could, Baba Sean.
Amos 5:21. Mm-hmm. I despise your feast days.
I hate and I despise your feast days. Of course, a feast day means a holiday or a day of gathering, a convocation. That's what Christmas is. It is a feast day, and it is our feast day. When I say our, I mean man. You understand? It's man-made. It's not of the Lord. But we should be celebrating the Lord's Passover, the Lord's High Hanukkah, the Lord's Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of First Fruits, those holy days that the Lord gave us. Go ahead and drop that if you could, Doc. Let me get Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. All right? You understand? Like we in the Bible know where Christmas comes from, man. We know the meaning of Christmas and the origin of Christmas. It tells us in the Bible about Christmas. See, a lot of people try to associate Christmas with Jesus Christ, which is absolutely wrong, but they don't know that Christmas is in the Bible. And it has nothing to do with something that we should celebrate. It's not something that the Lord glorifies or says that we should do. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and read it right now and find out where Christmas is in the Bible and what the Lord thinks about Christmas. Go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you.
You understand? Hear thee the Lord, the word that the Lord speaketh unto you. All of these words in this Bible was inspired by the Most High. These priests and these prophets in this Bible that wrote these books, they were sent by the Lord. These events and things that they talk about, laws, statutes, commandments, are of the Lord. This is the Lord's word. So he's saying, hear these words. You know what I mean? For a long time, we've listened to our oppressor's words. Our oppressor, when he says, jump and bark like a dog and go pick this cotton and go build this house, this tower, and go clean them yards and clean these and celebrate Christmas. And here, put Christmas trees in your house. Do it. These things that we've done listening to our oppressors, man. You know what I mean? And it's the reason why we're destroyed. You know, like I said, there's a lot of crime that gets committed in these holiday seasons because why? Why? Because black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians aren't that fortunate to be able to live that kind of life and buy those different types of gifts like cell phones and, you know, game consoles, big screen TVs, and, you know, cars and jewelry. We don't have that kind of money to be spending thousands of dollars on our family. You know what I mean? For some specific day. So what do? Brothers and sisters end up doing what? 80 hours of work in a week, working overtime, killing themselves, working overtime in some plant, in some white man's plant somewhere, in some Arab man's facility or corporation, and they make them rich. They work very hard to get that money to do what? To put it right back in their pocket. They work all them long overtime hours to get that money. That, you know, building, making BMWs, making airplanes, making pots and pans, cleaning up, you know, dishes, serving food, making those companies rich just so they can collect the check and go and spend it right back with the same people. Like, it's destroying us, man. You understand? You can't spend time with your kids. You're destroying yourselves, man. Read what you got. We're going to show you Christmas in the Bible. Go ahead.
Hear ye the word which the Lord hath speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
O house of Israel. You know what I'm saying? The Lord spoke and wrote these words for us, for one particular people, and that's Israel. Like it just said, read it one more time.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Verse 2, thus saith the Lord,
go ahead.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Do what?
Learn not the way of the heathen.
The Bible says, learn not the way of the heathen. Learn not the way of the heathen. You understand? The Lord didn't choose everybody. The Lord didn't love everybody. The Lord didn't approve of what everybody was doing. He chose a specific people who was Israel. You understand? And he gave those people life. He gave them laws. He gave them commandments. He gave them holy days. He gave them traditions and customs and heritage. Inheritance. He gave them those things. Not anybody else. He gave that to Israel. That's why I just read in verse 1, it says, hear these words from the Lord to that he speaks to Israel. Like this Bible is a black man's book, man. This Bible is a black man's book, a Hispanics, a so-called Native Indians book. That's what this Bible was for. That's what these words are going out to. And anybody that's not an Israelite, that's not of the nation of Israel, that's not so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, is a heathen. Right. Is a heathen. And he says not to go into the way, learn not the way of the heathen. Meaning, whatever these other nations are doing and coming up with, let them do it and come up with it on their own and do it themselves. Like these things like homosexuality was originated in white culture. It originated in white culture. That if they wanted to be homosexuals, let them be homosexuals. Let them be homosexuals. As for me and my people, as for the Lord and his people, we understand, as for the Lord's people, we're going to not do those things. Because he says, what? Read it again.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Because we're going to learn not the way of the heathen. You know, he came up with homosexuality. He's going to have, he can enjoy homosexuality. As for us, as for the Lord's people, then the people who are not the heathens that the Bible speaks of, but the nation of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we're going to do what the Lord said. We're going to what? Take man and woman. They're going to come together and be one flesh. And what the Lord Most High bring together, no man can put asunder. You understand? He gave Eve to Adam. He gave, all of these wives to these brothers so they could be fruitful and multiply. That's what the Lord gave us. He gave us that. He didn't give us homosexuality. And that's a heathen custom. Those things are what heathens came up with. And he gave us Passover. He gave us High Hanukkah, which is coming up here in about 4 days from now. Yeah, he gave us those holy days. He didn't give us Christmas. You understand? In fact, that's what he had to say about Christmas. Go ahead.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. That's another thing that we've learned from these other nations. These other nations have created all of these astrological teachings like astronomy, right? Where you read the stars and you got the zodiac signs and people got those horoscopes on their phone, and every time that horoscope say something, it's like God speaking to them. Or this was gonna happen to you today. You know what I mean? Today you're gonna run into a man and you're gonna give him the box. The next man you meet, you're gonna be your soulmate. You're gonna marry him. Next thing you know, you're somewhere in the room molested. You're somewhere in the room raped. You're somewhere in the streets broke, poor, and out of a house and home. Your kids are in danger because you've invited some man in your house and didn't do what the Lord told you to do. You did what your horoscope told you to do. And that's what we've done. That's where we've come to. We're very ignorantly following after these other nations who the Bible calls heathens. And it ends up with us being destroyed more. It ends up with us suffering and being poor, more oppressed. That's what it sums up for us. All right, and that's why the Lord said, "Don't do it." Read it again.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, man. Go ahead.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
For the heathen are dismayed at them. Like these other nations live off of the sun and the moon and worshiping the sun and worshiping the moon and worshiping the stars and weather and seasons and zodiac signs and astrology and chakras and energy. That's what they worship. You understand? The Africans, they worship anything that's different or strong or whatever. Like they worship the bear, then the lion killed the bear. Now they worship the lion. Then alligator killed that lion. Now they worship the alligator. The albinos, like the Arabs. The Indians, like they want to eat the albino. They worship every and anything, man. They're dismayed at these things. But we, as for us, as for Israelites, as for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we'll have a lot less suffering, a lot less pain and oppression if we would let all of those things go. If we would just let it all go. We have so many beautiful holidays in this Bible that was for us. So many beautiful ones. Like we have such beautiful culture. Lord, sisters shouldn't have to go and feel like they can't be beautiful unless their hair is straightened out. You know what I mean? They have to feel beautiful unless their hair is blonde or some kind of color. Or brothers have to feel like they gotta wear these skinny jeans to keep up with the Joneses, to be in style or in fashion. We have our own culture, man. We have our own look, our own beauty. Like let's embrace those things, and we'll be a lot better off. The amount of money that black women spend on weaves every year is uncanny. It's a $1 billion corporation, the weave industry, because so many black women hate themselves, man. So many black women hate their looks and their natural attributes and assets. They hate it. They go get butt shots. They go get titty reductions and this and lip reductions and all of these different things are all self-hate, man. And Christmas is celebration of Christmas is self-hate as well, man. You understand? Celebration of Christmas is self-hate. It has nothing to do with black people. And black people should see where when we celebrate Christmas, who benefits from Christmas? Who actually has the Merry Christmas? You understand? It's not us. It's these other nations who have the Merry Christmas, not us, man. We have a massacre Christmas because so many black men are getting put in jail for trying to put gifts under the tree. So many black women are degraded and you know, and just taken advantage of for Christmas to put gifts under the tree. I guess it's a stupid holiday, man. Read it again out.
Verse 2, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heaven are dismayed at them.
Understand? Like the heathens are dismayed at the signs of heaven. Go ahead.
Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain.
The customs of the people are vain, man. What does the word vain mean? Vain means nothing or empty or just useless. Like it's the customs of the people are vain, man. What is Christmas? You telling me all year you can't just buy your kids or your wife or your husband what they want when you can? You gotta wait till this day to spend all of this money on such big tag items like big TVs and cars and jewelry and, you know, games, clothing, shoes. You gotta spend all of this money to have all that money up under the tree for this day. You understand? That's not a smart thing to do, man. That's not a smart thing to do. You know, we get broke. We become more broke on these days. We become more poor on these days. Like these days are the days where we get poor and they get rich. And like I said, the amount of scrutiny and pain and stuff we suffer from having to keep up with these holidays is unbearing. It's unbearable, man. All right, so like these other nations their customs are vain to us. They mean nothing to us. You understand? They are something that we shouldn't even glorify or even look at as something. It's so ignorant to have a tree in your house. Why? What is that? How can that even? Why would that even seem like something like logical? You know what I mean? Like why would it seem like something that's logical? Why would it seem like something to do? Put a tree in your house? And this is supposed to have something to do with Jesus Christ? No, man. You have to wake up. You have to wake up, man. Celebrating Christmas is white supremacy, man. You're giving up your black power and pro-blackness in celebrating Christmas, man. Read.
Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain.
Y'all go back in that room. Close the door. Go back in the room. Go down.
One cutteth a tree.
Read that from the top again, brother.
Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain.
For the customs of the people are vain. Go ahead.
For one cutteth the tree out of the forest.
Okay, hold it right there. So the customs of the people are vain, meaning it means nothing. And it's going to talk about some of those vain things, some of those customs that are vain. It says that it says for one cutteth a tree out of the forest. All right, and Christmas is a day where we, like I said, we put trees in our homes. We got the trees in our home, but it came from the forest. It was something that was cut down out of the ground, out of the forest. And the Bible is telling us about this right now. It's prophesying that right now. It's saying, what? Read it one more time.
For the customs of the people are vain.
For the customs of the people are vain. Go ahead.
For one cutteth the tree out of the forest.
For one cutteth the tree out of a forest.
The work of the hands of the workman with an axe.
The work of the hands of the workman with the axe. This is Christmas we're about to break down right now. We'll be getting into. Tell them where you at again, up.
Jeremiah chapter 3, and we on verse 3, right? It's like Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 3.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 3. You understand? Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 3. It says, the works of the axeman who cut the tree out of the forest. At the beginning it says, do not listen to these words I tell you, Israel. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you, black folks. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you, Hispanics and Native Indians. Don't do what the heathens do. Don't do what these non-blacks, non-Hispanic, non-Native Indians are doing. The Africans. Don't do what the Africans are doing. Because what they're doing is vain. Don't do what the Europeans are doing, because what they're doing is vain. Don't do what the Chinese are doing, because what the Chinese are doing is vain. I mean, like a man to go in a tree and I mean going to the forest and cut down a tree. Like where are we going with this? You know what I mean? Where is this going? Why? What is that for? Why are you cutting out a tree out of the forest? Go ahead.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
And they do what?
They deck it with silver and with gold.
They deck it with silver and with gold. They deck it with silver and gold. That's not what we do on Christmas. Don't we not deck the tree out? Deck the halls, right? Deck the halls with I don't know, balls of jolly. I still don't really know what they were saying. Deck the halls with balls of jolly. La 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 la. That's vain. What is that? What are we doing? What is this we're doing? We have a tree from the forest. Now we're decking it with gold and silver, with the whatever the little Jesus on top, or some people put Mary up there. Some people put a little star up there on the top of the tree. What does this all symbolize? Why is this being done? Where is this in the Bible? It's right here. It's in the location where it's being spoken about, saying not to do. Where God says, the Most High says not to do it. That's where it's at in the Bible. It's in a position where it's saying not to do it. That it's a heathen custom. Right? Read it again.
Verse 4.
Go ahead.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
Mm-hmm.
They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
So they go and they take the tree out of the forest, they deck it with silver and gold, they put it in their house, and they fasten it down real nice, real tight and nice and strong and firm so they don't move. So when they put all of them balls up there and all of them ornaments and socks and candy canes and everything else that they put up there that has nothing to do with Jesus Christ, you understand? A black man from the tribe of Judah, who the Bible says is a man of war, you understand? Like, it has nothing to do with socks and, you know, cookies and milks and Santa Claus, you know, which is a fake man. He ain't no such thing as Santa Claus. I mean, when we found out Santa Claus was real, we should have just gone ahead and threw Christmas away altogether. Christmas is not real.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not.
You understand? Like we this is all vain. Like, I mean, like the Most High power in heaven, man, is a real person. You understand? He's a real person, and he spoke to us. He has this Bible is his words, and he gives us instructions, and we follow those instructions, and following those instructions saves our lives. So when he says, "Go not learn not the way of the heathen," because the customs of the people are vain, because one cut off the tree out of a forest and deck it with gold and silver. Like, these are things that are vain, that man made, that he hates and he despises, man. You understand? If we listen to him, we'll save money on those days. We will not have to be robbed or robbed or held up at gunpoint, or have to go work all these hours at these slaveries and have to strip and sell drugs and all. We won't have to do all of those things, man. You don't have to do all of those things. You know what I mean? And regardless if you got to do it or not, whether, let's say you on a fortunate black family, let's say you're a fortunate Hispanic family, you're a fortunate Native Indian family, you got money, you can do it, you can keep up with the Joneses, you still shouldn't celebrate it, because the Lord, you're going to anger the Lord. You're going to anger the Lord when you celebrate Christmas and any other holiday that these heathens have created. You want to anger the Lord, and when the Lord gets angry, what does he do? He floods the earth and kills everybody except for 8 people. When the Lord gets angry, he kills firstborns. You understand? When the Lord gets angry, he sends hurricanes. He sends all of these different disasters and terrorist attacks and STDs and diseases and illnesses and that's what the Lord does. He kills and he destroys when he gets angry. So you go anger the Lord if you want to, celebrating these holidays. You too will be killed or destroyed, man. Regardless, it's going to happen to you because the Lord said don't do it. He said not to do it. Let me get Mark chapter 7 verse 8. All right, the Lord says not to do it. Christmas trees, as we just read it right there in the Bible, Jeremiah 10, chapter 10, verse 1 through 5. And you can keep on reading all the whole chapter. Like these are the things that we should not be doing, man. You got what I want? Let me get it.
The book of Mark, chapter 7, to verse 8. For laying aside the commandment of the Most High.
Yeah, we're saying that's what we do when we celebrate Christmas. When we celebrate Christmas, we lay to the side the laws and the commandments. We're like, listen, I know the Lord, you know what I mean? Some of us know and some of us don't know. But the Lord said don't celebrate Christmas. And when we do it, we're just putting that to the side, what he said. We're putting it to the side. When we go out here and we interracially marry, we're putting the laws to the side because the Lord said we should not interracially marry. When we go out here and we get high and smoke weed, we're putting the laws to the side because the Lord said you should not kindle a fire and put it to thy mouth. You understand? You should not be smoking. You know what I mean? So whether you can find enough enough statistics of weed killing anybody, you know how everybody always say weed that doesn't kill people. You know, people don't die from smoking weed. Right. You know, they actually do. They just don't die of lung cancer. They die of a stroke or a heart attack. They die from getting hit by a car, from taking a bullet to the head by a white police officer. You're going to be faced with death one way or another. Because it's an act that's against the Lord. Like I said, you're doing something because you can do it and it seems good. But if you don't know what the Lord said, then you could be angering him and he's going to kill you. He's going to destroy you. Why do you think blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are in captivity? We're in captivity because our forefathers have disobeyed the laws of the Lord. They too have put the Lord's laws to the side to celebrate all of these different man-made holidays, to do what the heathens are doing, to celebrate what the heathens are celebrating, doing what they're doing, being homosexual, getting tattoos, wearing dreadlocks, like all of those things that the heathens originated and we're taking on, and it's angering the Lord, and we don't know because we don't see in this Bible we don't see this truth in this Bible because our pastors are liars, man. And we fail and we suffer because of it, man. All right, read what you got again. Right?
Mark 7 and 8. For laying aside the commandment of the Most High, ye hold the tradition of man, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do.
Go ahead. Read it one more time from the top.
For laying aside the commandments of the Most High, ye hold the traditions of men. Right.
We hold the traditions of men. Holding the traditions of men is something that the Lord told us not to do. So essentially we're laying aside the laws of the Most High. We're laying aside the commandments of the Most High. To do what? What he said not to do. Not learn the way of the heathen. We're learning the ways of the heathen. We're celebrating his holidays. We're celebrating his culture. You know what I mean? We're taking on his culture. We're taking on all of these things. Like where murder comes from? You understand? The Bible says he was a murderer from the beginning. He was a liar from the beginning. Like lying and murdering and rape and molestation and homosexual, like all of those things are from these heathen cultures. You understand? They come from heathen cultures. Like lying and all of that is something that the Lord told his people not to do. So we don't do those things. You know what I mean? That's something that when we start to lying and we start to doing getting into that gang banging and all that stuff like that, just know that that's something that these nations that are called heathens have created, man. That they were the first to be. They were the first drug dealers. They were the first gang bangers. They were the first terrorists. You know what I mean? Or colonize. Like we go out here and we try to take over territory in our neighborhoods, don't we? That's the same thing they've done when they came to America and all these other lands. They've taken territory. They fought and they killed for it. And that's the same thing we do today. Lo and behold, these things that are being done were not given to us by the Lord, man. You understand? They were not given to us by the Lord, and we're better people than that, man. We're better people than that. The hairstyles and the things that we originated are the most clean and beautiful things for us. Anything else outside of that is going to be like dreadlocks is going to be infectious, unhealthy, disgusting to look at. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, and celebrating these holidays is another one of those things, man. When we have our own holidays to celebrate. All right, read that from the top again, Bubba Shaw.
Mark 7 and 8, for laying aside the commandment of the Most High, ye hold the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do.
All right, Most High in Christ, just drop that for me. Let me get Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. You understand? We can tell you the truth about Christmas. The truth about Christmas really goes back to Nimrod. And Nimrod was what? Nimrod was the ruler over Babylon and the Babylonian Empire. Right? His mother's name was Semiramis, if I'm not mistaken, Semiramis. His mom was Semiramis, and she believed that Nimrod was a god. That's what she believed. She believed that he was a god, and what she did was she claimed that she saw a full-grown evergreen tree spring out of the roots of a dead tree stump. All right, so that would to her symbolize the springing forth of new life, right? Springing forth of new life from the dead, or new life, or just like new beginnings. You know what I mean? Like it was like something. This is something. She's a nut, of course. You know what I mean? Like she's a nut, and she's just creating something. She thinks her son is a god. You know what I mean? And after his death, like as far as new life, she said that evergreen tree. Evergreen trees are the same trees that we call Christmas trees. That's what Christmas trees are. They're evergreen trees. Right. So she believed, like I said, she's seen a evergreen tree grow from a stump, and she said that tree embodied the spirit of Nimrod. All right. So of course after Nimrod's death, like she put it to where this tree, evergreen tree, embodied his spirit. So what they would do is they would have people come to the tree to bring gifts to the tree, but it wasn't to the tree. It wasn't for the tree. It was for Nimrod. All right? The gifts were for Nimrod. So all in all, what we're doing today called Christmas is really worshiping Nimrod. We're worshiping Nimrod, and who Nimrod is an African, a so-called African, according to the Bible. You understand? He's a Hamite. He's one of Ham's descendants. All right. He's Ham begat Cush. Cush begat Nimrod. Right. So he's a Hamite. So but who gets rich off of Christmas? Not Ham, not the Africans. It's the white society that gets rich off Christmas, because we're in America, and this is a white country. This is a white colonized country, just like all these other countries as well. The white man rules the earth. He runs the earth. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, like the Bible says. They run the entire earth. They benefit off Christmas, man. But none longer the story short, if you do the research on Christmas, you'll see about Semiramis and Nimrod. And she said that the tree was representing new life for Nimrod, because like I said, after his death, this represented new life for Nimrod, and they told people to bring gifts to the tree, and that's what they did. They brought gifts to the tree because the tree was Nimrod, to them, and from what she was saying. So they believed her, and they did it. They brought the gifts to the tree. They put the gifts underneath the tree, and they left it there. Now, the only thing about that is, if you didn't bring gifts to the tree, then they would cut your head off. They would cut your head off. You would be beheaded if you didn't bring gifts to the tree. And just like any other heathen nation that's always doing something forced by the sword, always taking something, forcefully, or always robbing and killing and murdering, or murdering and robbing and pillaging to get what they want, is custom to them. You know what I mean? It's something that they're accustomed to doing. The Africans did it. You know what I mean? Where they pushed Islam, and the Arabs, and they pushed Islam, And as you can see right here about Nimrod, they did it when in time of Nimrod's death when they had the tree. They had had people bringing gifts to the tree, and if they didn't, they would cut their heads off. And it's been like that with Christianity too. Christianity was forced by the sword, meaning if you didn't get down with Christianity when they was pushing Christianity throughout the earth, then you would be killed. You would be killed if you didn't get down with Christianity. So here we are talking about the origin of Christmas and the tree that Semiramis, the mother of Nimrod, seen grow out of a tree stump, and it represented new life for Nimrod, and that people should bring these gifts to the tree for him, for Nimrod. And if they didn't, they would cut off their head. And guess what they would do with their heads, man? Guess what they would do with the heads of the people that they would cut off if they didn't bring those gifts to Nimrod, to that tree. What they would do is, if you didn't bring that gift to that tree, they're going to cut your head off, and they're going to take your head and hook it onto a hook and hang it from the tree. This later on was altered and changed around a little bit. Now we bring gifts to the tree, you understand, for our loved ones. The tree still the evergreen tree. We still use the evergreen tree. Right. We bring the gifts to under the tree like they did for Nimrod, but it's not for Nimrod. It's for auntie. It's for your son or hey, go back in the room, close the door. You understand? It's for your auntie. It's for your husband. It's for your wife. It's for your kids. You know what I mean? But now we don't put heads on on the Christmas tree. We just put ornaments on the tree now. Christmas ornaments like red balls and silver balls and candy canes and socks and lights and everything else. Right. But those balls represent the heads of the people who did not bring gifts. Those gifts were for Nimrod. That tree represents Nimrod. This is the origin of Christmas, man. And we don't know that because we've been oppressed, we've been lied to, we've been colonized, we've been abused, confused, and what happened? Now we just think that Christmas has got something to do with Jesus Christ. Now we just think that Christmas is just such a merry time of the year where we just give gifts to our loved ones and just be in the holiday spirit. The holiday spirit of America is a evil, wicked spirit, man. And it's the reason why a lot of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians suffer and die, man. Read what you got, brother.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 8.
Good.
But now ye also put off all these, anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is what happens. If you could, Aki, you can just make me a cup of water right quick. Baba Kashah. You understand? What the brother just read, like you putting out these things like, anger. Yeah, anger, blasphemy. Anger. How do you put out anger on these days? Think about Thanksgiving. You know how many people are molested by their uncle and have to come to Thanksgiving and sit in front of that uncle and nobody has done anything about it. Nobody knows. You understand? Just give me some water from the or you can give me some tea. That'll be too out with some tea. And they have to sit in front of that uncle and be vexed or be in straight fear because they have to sit here and they can't tell anybody or they haven't told anyone or just so much pain, agony, and then what else usually happens during these holidays? You end up fighting with your cousins, fighting with your mom. It ends up being a fight breaking out at the dinner table. The same thing for Christmas. What happens during Christmas? What happens during Christmas? You don't get the gift you want. Then what happens? You're angry. Your mom don't get the gift she wants. She's angry. Kids don't get the gifts they want. They're angry. Everybody's angry because they ain't get you. Don't work all them 80 hours, sold all the drugs to all your people. They're stripped in the club from 5 to 9. You understand? And here you are with a gift that whoever you bought it for is not appreciative of. Right. They're angry. They're angry about it. They're not happy about what you got them. It's not what they wanted, and they're not happy. You understand? You can't make nobody happy with these holidays, man. You understand? We need something that's going to really work for us as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Something that we can celebrate that's going to bring us together, not tear us apart, man. You understand? Something that's going to unite us and not divide us. And that's what these holidays are doing. They're creating this anger amongst people. You know how many women leave their men on these holidays? How many wives leave their husbands on these holidays? You know what I mean? Because they didn't get that gift from Zales. They didn't get that diamond ring they wanted, or the gift that they got wasn't expensive enough. It wasn't unique enough, or it wasn't big and something expensive. They get angry and they leave their whole husband, man. Leave their boyfriend, or however you want to call it. And that's because it's a holiday that festers anger for one another. Go ahead.
Right, and just to piggyback on what you're saying as well too. I mean, it's just so American,
right?
Of how Black Hispanics and Native Indians mindset is toward this so hellish holiday. I mean,
right.
We, just like you was bringing out earlier. I mean, like we work all these hours. We work in these factories. Work whether it's overseas. Work. We have our own businesses. We work. All for what? Just to make America great again, pretty much. I mean, like that's what it's boiling down to. I mean, like we making America great again by doing what? By feeding them funds.
Right.
Over and over and over again. It's like a residual cycle.
Right.
Over and over and over again, to the point now it's like, we just wake up and like, hey, okay, this is what we're supposed to do.
Right.
And more of a reality, aspect of things, we're not supposed to be doing these things.
Mm-hmm.
We have our own holiday.
Right.
You understand? Like, of course, big up to the manager and YAHANNA. I mean, man, good night.
Damn right.
I mean, man, you know what I'm saying? He definitely held on to those traditions. So men like also Dawuda and myself will be able to know, you know what I'm saying, around this time of what we're not supposed to be doing versus what we're supposed to be doing. Of course, this Friday we got the Feast of Dedication of Hanukkah. You know what I'm saying? This is something that we look forward to. You understand?
Right.
Versus, I was about to say something but not no Christmas tree, not no gifts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we understand the symbolism of it.
Right.
You understand? Versus, okay, well, shit, it's just a regular day to us. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, I just wanted to bring that up.
Nah, you're right. What you're bringing out is so heavy, man, which goes to show that when you have good leadership,
right,
the people what? Rejoice. Right? When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Right.
So under the rulership of the Christian church, under the rulership of America, and celebrating Christmas and all these holidays and throwing away the laws, putting the laws aside, right? What happened? We end up destroyed. We end up with nothing. We end up homeless. We end up with single parent homes. We end up having to board our kids. Women are boarding their kids because they don't have the resources to take care of them kids. Right. And then at the same time, when they got them kids, they would work night and day and strip and sell their ass to try to get them gifts. Like, our priorities are messed up, man. Go ahead.
And if I could add a little too, like us as a nation, as far as Black Hispanics and Native Indians, we will buy our kids just about any and everything.
Right.
But the lights will be out, the rent won't be paid,
right,
your car note, your insurance,
right,
you won't have food, all over what? A gift. You understand? Like the scripture says, man, like a gift destroys the heart. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's just so edible in this time period right now.
And that's where we're gonna go next too. Go ahead. No, go ahead for slightly.
You understand? And that's just why we are destroyed as a nation as a whole.
Right.
Because we follow America so much. We just love our oppressor so much.
Them.
It's just to the point where man, we wake up, what can I do for master? It's almost like we still have that slave mentality.
The Stockholm syndrome.
Right, I was about to say that, you understand? And it's not so much as we getting beat physically, it's now we getting beat what? We getting beat spiritually. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We getting beat we getting beat mentally. You know what I'm saying? So
that's heavy, y'all. That's heavy, y'all. You know what I mean? In the time of chattel slavery, Where we have physical chains and we're physically oppressed and beat down physically, not allowed to do what? Like how Moses said. Moses, they just wanted to go in the wilderness and serve their God.
Right.
You understand? They wanted to go to the wilderness and serve their God for 3 days, and Pharaoh denied. Pharaoh didn't want them to do that. Pharaoh wanted them to go and do manual labor and be right where he wanted them to be. Now, in this day, under America, under the rulership of Donald Trump and white society, we don't even want to serve our God. You understand? We don't even want to serve our God. You know what I mean? We were getting beat down and whipped and all of that, and then what? We were giving Christianity. Right. We were giving Christmas. We had to celebrate. We was in the house with the tray with the cup on it, you know, while they was having Thanksgiving, while they was having a Merry Christmas. You know what I mean? While they was, you know, showing all this love and happiness and merriness and the most wonderful time of the year. It wasn't for a black man. It wasn't for no Hispanic man or no Native Indian, or especially not on them reservations. Right. So while they were celebrating Christmas and their holidays all through America, we were being slaved. And as we were slaves, we were slaved and beat down and manipulated so much that seeing them, you know, have these holidays and celebrate them to the point where we took on those things. We wanted to be a part of that. We want to celebrate Christmas. I want to celebrate. Master get to buy gifts and look how happy they look, and they doing all this and doing all of that, and they sharing love, and it's, you know, I want to be a part of that. It's almost like we just want what we can't have at the time. You know what I mean? We wanted what we couldn't have, and then when we got set free, what did we get? We went and got what they had. We went and did what they was doing. We became free. Now we became what? Spiritually oppressed. Right. You understand? Spiritually broken. Because now we don't even before we couldn't be allowed to go marry one another and get certificates, we would have our own little ceremonies and, you know, classify marriage between ourselves. You know what I mean? And our families and our own little quarters. Now when we get set free, now the only way for our marriage to be official is to go get a certificate or a license. And that's what happened, man. We became free from not being able at one point in time not being able to do with all of the things that the white society was doing to being free, and that's all we want to do. You know what I mean? And you're right. You're absolutely right, Doc. You know what I mean? You're absolutely right. We're stuck in that those 400 years of slavery has affected the generations even today, man. And to the point where our forefathers who were in America have taught us Christmas. You understand? Have taught us Thanksgiving, that, you know, them pork chops and the chitlins and that turkey and that ham with the honey on it and the pineapples and the stuffing and, you know, and all of that. We've been taught that because that's what they kept from slavery. But we need to let those things go, man. Read what you got to give.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 8. Mm-hmm. But now you also put off all these. Mm-hmm. Anger, wrath. Like I said, family members fight each other on these holidays, man. They fight tooth and nail, man. Damn near to near death. Damn near to near death. People, brothers and sisters, are dying on these holidays. Brothers and sisters are getting locked up on these holidays. Spending jail on these holidays, man. Spending time in jail on these holidays. This is anger and wrath that gets pulled out of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians on these holidays, man. You know, we don't have the right tutelage and the right laws and commandments and the right instructions to be able to have our life in order. So celebrating Christmas is just one of the things that we do wrong. You know, just celebrating Christmas shows that we have so much that we're doing wrong. So much that we're doing wrong that we cannot see because we're so blinded by the fantasy and the false hope and false happiness of celebrating these holidays and living in America and having opportunity. Like I said, man, it's black people out here right now today that's claimed to be so blackity black, so pro-black, but they getting ready to celebrate Christmas, man. Right. They getting ready to celebrate Christmas. The white man knows that you're not pro-black. He knows it.
You're the only one that don't know you're not pro-black. He knows you're not pro-black because he sees you celebrating something that you once upon a time could not even celebrate. That you had to pick cotton and do servile work instead of and participate in. He's seen you celebrate something that doesn't resemble anything that is known is said to be. He's seeing you celebrate something that his forefathers created, that his forefathers made for one another, and here you are celebrating it, just like Martin Luther King, for example. Martin Luther King had us out here looking like straight suckers, man. Because these establishments or these businesses that white society established, we had of our own. But because Martin Luther King and his silly dream, we now are abandoning what's ours and doing what? And embracing what's theirs. And it leaves us with nothing and leaves them with everything. And it's the same thing. We've abandoned our holidays to take on their holidays. We've abandoned our culture to take on their culture. We abandon our businesses to work and sit in their businesses, to be accepted by them. And it's because of people like Martin Luther King that we celebrate Christmas today, man. It's because of people like Martin Luther King we don't have nothing. Why is millions of black men in jail? It's people like Martin Luther King why so many women abort their babies, why so much homosexuality, because he's not a good leader, man. He was not a good leader. He was a homegrown slave, man.
Right.
A homegrown slave convincing hundreds of thousands of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people to go and to love our oppressor. To leave, to not find value in what we have here, but to let's put that aside and set that aside, like our laws, our commandments, our traditions, our businesses, our culture. Let's set that aside to do the customs of the people, to do the traditions of the people, to learn after the heathen. And that's why we're in this condition we're in today, where we have nothing. You understand? Black Friday, everybody benefits off Black Friday but black people. We get those devices in our house and all those goods, and those goods expire. They break. They get old. But you know what? Who has the money, still the money for all of that in their pocket, not buying anything? The white society. The Arabs, the Chinese, they at home chilling. They got you pay for their new TV, you pay for their new house, you pay for their new refrigerator, for their new car, you pay for it. You understand? Because though that money that you just blew all Black Friday was going into their businesses, man. So anger and wrath is accumulated and put out on these days. Go ahead. Malice. Like I said, there's so much killing and robbing, just violence on these holidays, man. And if you from the hood, you know it. If you from the hood, you know it, man. Cause it ain't just the people that's stealing and stuff to get money, right? To go buy gifts. It's people that's seeing you bring them gifts in your house. It's like, oh, look at that TV. Ooh, look at that. Look. Tapping, y'all on the porch. Oh, look, bro, look. Ooh, 7-inch TV, bro. Ooh, wee. When they get ready to go to work, bro, you know what time it is. Like, we going up in there. Now you done bought that $3,000 TV, $2,000 TV, and it's gonna be next door at the neighbor's house, who are all black people just like you, just all like crabs in a barrel. While guess what? The $2,000 is in the white man pocket, and ain't nobody taking that. Go ahead.
And to make insult to injury, 90% of the time it be your own family members that will scope you out. You know what I'm saying? Because they may not have a
less fortunate.
Right. I mean, like they're less fortunate. You understand? And then they look at you. I mean, like you buying your kids gifts, you're buying yourself gifts, and you invite them in, and they scope and everything. As soon as you go out to work, bam, everything's stolen. You be like, oh man, like where did everything go? Right. It be the ones that sometimes. I mean, of course, not majority of the time, but on some cases, it definitely be your own family members that will steal from you. Right.
You're right. I've seen it. Right. You know what I mean? I've seen it where brothers and sisters, like our own family, blood relatives, would know you got, like you said, got gifts, and we in the projects, we in the ghettos, we ain't really, like I said, really if somebody got it, It's because they went and worked like 80 hours that week. You know what I mean? They really went out and spent all their week at work, or they went and sold drugs or did something like some kind of illegal hustle or some degrading hustle like stripping. And they were able to get those gifts and then be that one cousin or that one auntie or one nephew or whoever it is. And what he would do, he'll go tip somebody off that he know and have it out. It'll be an inside job, but he not going to be the one to actually steal it. He going to have somebody else come steal it, and then they going to sell it, and they'll split the profits.
Right.
And that's what happens. It's malice on these days, man. It's malice. But what is the celebration of Passover? The celebration of Passover is what? Love for black people, love for Hispanics and Native Indians, because it shows the destruction, it celebrates the destruction of our enemies. So now it's drawing a line and establishing, we as family or we as loved ones and the people, and what? We being able to celebrate us being family and being safe from our enemies, man. And that's something that you can display love at. That's somewhere you can be unified at, and there won't be malice, and there won't be, anger or wrath. It won't be any of those things. It'll be love and giving and just, communion. So, like, this is why these holidays have to stop. They have to be, well, they don't have to stop, but our people have to stop celebrating them, man. Like I said, let the heathens have their holidays. Let them have their culture and their traditions. Let them have their businesses.
Right.
Let's start our own businesses. Let's benefit off let's celebrate. Let's support our own people and our own businesses. Let's get back to building what Martin Luther King destroyed, man. Let's do that. Let's get back what the Lord gave us. You know what I mean? Let's start taking back our culture and our tradition and heritage, things that promote unity and love amongst ourselves and cuts out the hatred for one another, man. So like I said, it's malice on these days, man. It's malice, robbery, and that whole Christmas spirit or holiday spirit, that spirit is an evil spirit, man. Right. It makes people do evil things. That thought that, hey, Yeshaya, open that door. You understand? Makes people do evil things on these days. Like I said, like rob and rape. You know how many people rape? These kids like Halloween, when the kids go out and they trick-or-treating and people put drugs in the candy, or people ride around in their cars and scoop up kids out of the dark. Bro, like that's what's happening in these holidays, man. And it has nothing to do with what they say it's about. And that's why it says the customs of the people are vain. All right? Go ahead and continue. You said you stopped off at malice.
Yeah, malice.
Mm-hmm.
Blasphemy.
What?
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy, man. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. Hey. Read that part again for me, Baba Gushai. Salagi, everybody online. You understand? When fatherhood calls, you got to take care of these kids, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
Blasphemy.
Mm-hmm. Blasphemy. Okay. Blasphemy. Christmas is blasphemy. Why is it blasphemy? Because what is blasphemy? Blasphemy is something that's against the Bible. Something that's a lie against the Bible. Like the scriptures say, who turned the truth of God into a lie? That's what blasphemy is. When you're talking about Christmas as representing the birthday of Jesus Christ, that's blasphemy, man. That's blasphemy. That's not the case. Christ wasn't born in no wintertime. And if I could, now we gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But it's like, but Christ wasn't born in no wintertime. Christ ain't got nothing. Christ, the Bible is against Christmas. Right. We just read it plain as day in Jeremiah chapter 10. We just read it plain as day. Like, it has nothing to do with the Bible. It has nothing to do with God. It has nothing to do with Jesus Christ. It has nothing to do with being holy or righteous. Nothing at all to do with any of these things. That's why when they say it, it's blasphemy, man. Wow. They're in the churches and they're getting ready for Christmas. They got Christmas trees in the church. Christmas lights in the church, around the church. They're doing these things because they are lost and wicked people, man. Like Martin Luther King, these pastors, man, they are misleading our people, to be able to what? Like homegrown Negroes to be like, Master, well, we know if Master house burned down, our house is burning down. If Master's sick, we sick. They don't never think about what their people are feeling, what their people need. They're always about Master all the time. You understand? So they'll manipulate things, even the Bible. They'll manipulate the Bible. The most greatest manipulation in the face of the earth and all of the history of mankind. The most greatest deception ever. That Jesus Christ is a white man. That this book is for everybody. That God died for God's son Jesus Christ to die for everybody. That Christmas is Jesus Christ's birthday. Blasphemy, man. Go ahead.
Filthy communication.
Filthy communication. Like I said, these people have reckless mouths on these days, man. They talk bad. They curse their mom out. Mom, F you and this and that. You don't never want to buy me nothing. You always sleeping with different men, and that's when all of the tea start coming out, when all the family together. You sleep with all these different men, and that's why such and such don't know who his daddy is. He ain't even his real daddy, and this and that. I seen you were sleeping with such and such, and the cousins, and they fighting because and it's just all kind of just nasty, foul, wicked things being said and done on these holidays. And that's why I said, just like any time in the history of these holidays, the only people that has been married for are the people that created it, which is white society, or the Arabs, or the Africans. These are their holidays that we celebrate. They're the only ones that enjoy them. We always fight and always end up hurt or dead behind these things, man, because we're angering the Lord. And it's all what it boils down to, and it ties in together. You understand? These things that happen to us are direct reactions or direct results of us doing what the Lord told us not to do. All right? Any more on that?
Filthy communication out of your mouth.
Mm-hmm. That's it?
We're going to go to verse 9.
Nah, give me Ecclesiastes 7:7. Give me Ecclesiastes 7:7. Because what the brother brought out just a while ago was so heavy, man. You understand? These gifts that we get and all of these things that the white man gives us in America, lets us have and do, like, we thought it was a good thing to come out of slavery and now be able to get marriage licenses now. We're accepted now. You know what I mean? Like, we're accepted. We're American now. Oh, we got rights now. We got our own month now. We got Black History Month. And all of those things have made black people, it's been vain. It's been nothing. It's been nothing. What has that month done for us? What has Black History Month done for us? What is it really giving us? You understand? Where's our identity at? Where's our culture at? Where's our heritage? Where's our goddamn land at? Matter of fact, Black History Month, man. We've become such hoes in America, man. We've become such hoes for the white man and these other nations, man. Salakia from our oppressors. You know what I mean? And it shows because all of these things that we do and love to do today, they didn't let us do once upon a time. So we do what they tell us to do, what it looks like. That's what we do. We do it. We tell us don't do it, we don't do it. They tell us to do it, we do it. And we do it and we feel good about it, and we don't even see how much it destroys us, man. Give me what you got.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7.
Good.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Yeah, man. Oppression makes a wise man mad, yo. A wise man. The men in the I.S.U.P.K, the women in the I.S.U.P.K are wise.
Right.
And we are angry.
Right.
Because we know the truth about Christmas.
Right.
We know the truth about these holidays. We know the deception of our oppressors. We know the truth, man. We know it, and we're angry because we see it every day. Black people getting ready for Christmas, and they just so lost and just being destroyed. And our brothers and sisters are dying. Men and women are pouring each other out to get gain, to have financial gain. Women are aborting babies to not ruin opportunities for themselves, and it's so vain and it's so sad, man. And it makes us angry to see these things happening to our people. It makes us angry. All right? So oppression makes a wise man mad. But a wise man would think that he's free here in America. Right. You know what I mean? A man that's not wise would think that he's free in America. Somebody that's not wise would think that they have an opportunity to be equal in America. You understand? And so Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian would think that Christmas is something that they should celebrate. That's not wise, man. You know what I mean? Like, all of these things are and they will be happy to be American, proud to be an American. Like this song they sing, proud to be an American.
Right.
And it's something, at least I know I'm free. Like, come on, man.
Right.
Like, we are hunted in America, man. We are oppressed in America. We don't have, everything we have is somebody else's. Everything. The clothes on our back, the house we live in, the ground we walk on, the toothpick we use to pick our teeth with, the shoes we put on, the air that keeps us cold, the heat that keeps us, it's somebody else's. The water, the rain is somebody else's. We can't even own rain. We can't even collect rainwater without being charged for it. You're not free in America, man. You'll be free when you stop celebrating these holidays.
Right.
You'll be free when you get rid of what's theirs and take on what's yours. Then you'll be free. You understand? Being free is being free from foreign laws, not having to be subject to, you know, the legalization of homosexuality or the legalization of marijuana. You know what I mean? Thinking that, you know, this is some kind of, you know, step towards a better future or something. No, man, you'll realize how disgusting those things are, how disgusting Christmas is, and everything that surrounds and encompasses these things, and how disgusting it is, and you'll let it go, and then you'll truly be free. You'll truly be free then. So oppression makes a wise man, man. Go ahead.
And a gift destroyed the heart.
And a what?
A gift destroyed the heart.
And a what?
A gift destroyed the heart.
And a gift. Well, all y'all right now working these hours. It's the 16th. We got about 9 more days before Christmas. Boy, they putting in that overtime right now, boy. They working on them hard to get them gifts. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to get those gifts, and then for one day, you're going to feel like somebody. And guess what? That one day that you're going to make you feel like somebody because you're able to participate and so-called get everything everybody want, guess what? Your oppressors are going to live deliciously for decades off of that one day. Off of that one day, your oppressors are going to live deliciously. Their kids, generational. Like, it's going to be, you're giving them things that they're going to be able to pass down as an inheritance on that one day because the gift destroyed the heart. You are thinking that you are getting something good, but really you're just being rocked to sleep. You're being rocked to sleep, man. Go ahead.
So, if
Good.
I could,
Good.
night. So this is from the U.S. Today.
Go ahead.
It's saying online shopping pulled in a record of $7.2 billion on Black Friday, according to the Salesforce, which tracks online spending. $7.2 billion.
You see what I'm saying?
Just on that one day.
See what I'm
So
saying?
that just tells you exactly what the scripture is saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, here in the I.S.U.P.K, we look at this and we get angry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we know that this $7.2 billion Slovakia is making the Jewish man rich. It's
Right.
making the so-called European man rich.
Right.
It's so-called making all these other heathens rich.
Right.
But ourselves.
Right.
You
So
know what I'm
we've spent $7.2 billion, and like you said, our oppressors made $7.2 billion.
Right.
That's the kind of money where, you know, you get stuff for free. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you don't like, you know, I mean, come on, like, just give me the TV. Like, just give me the TV, give me the car, because it's like it's nothing you can't have. But we'll work 72 hours in a week to be able to buy $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 worth of stuff, $4,000 worth of stuff. And like I said, like you said, gifts destroys the heart, man. You know what I mean? We participate in these holidays. They give us these incentives. They give us these rights. They say, okay, well, now you're free. Now you're free, or now you can vote. Now you can go vote. Now you have rights, or you can here's food stamps. You got government assistance, and we think that we're making a move, like we think we getting somewhere, you know what I mean, or something. But really, we're not. We're really being rocked more and more to sleep. Because if the day that we just realize and become wise and wake up to what's really happening, like what we really could have and who we really are, then we'll see that this is all BS, man. Right. This is all BS. Who can vote? Who gives a damn about voting? Right. And that's why black people all day, I voted. We gonna vote. Your vote matters. And they think that this is something that because now we can be able to vote, we somebody. Let's use our ability to vote to make our, change our situation. No, you gonna vote, and they gonna hunt, right. And it's not gonna stop. Black community still gonna be impoverished. Black men are still gonna be hauled off to jail. Black women are still gonna be aborting their babies. Fathers are going to be taken out of their homes, more single-parent homes, more women having to take care of the family and the household by themselves. Your vote is not doing anything. We already seen what we all voted for Hillary Clinton. You understand? We all voted for Hillary Clinton. She won the popular vote. She won. By number, she won the election. But the popular vote did not matter in that election. What mattered in that election is what America wanted. Right. It's what European society wanted. It's what our oppressor wanted. That's what mattered. Your vote didn't matter. You voted and you won the vote, the popular vote, but you did not win. You did not win a voice. You did not win freedom. You did not win land, or you didn't win a property, or like I said, freedom. You didn't get any of those things. You didn't get community center, recreation center. You didn't get a new park. You didn't get reconstruction in the ghetto. You didn't get none of those things. Everything that you had stayed the same. Every condition that you was in stayed the same. While our oppressors got everything they wanted, and their condition became more heavenly. A gift destroyeth the heart, man. These things that they give us, these so-called rights and holidays, Christmas, it's just rocking us to sleep. We think we're doing something good, or we think that we're free, but really we're not, man. And it's hurting us. It's hurting us tremendously, man. All right, let me read that from the top one more time, Baba Kashan.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
All right, and a gift destroyeth the heart, man. Give me Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. A gift destroyeth the heart, man. Like I said, you giving, that's like, for instance, like a homeless man on the streets. Like, a lot of us would think that giving a homeless man money is going to help him. It's going to be something good. Like, you can go, here, man, I did my part today. I gave a homeless man some money. But 9 times out of 10, he's going to take that money. He's going to buy drugs with it. He's going to buy beer with it. You understand? It's not going to better his situation. When really, ultimately, if you give a homeless man this truth, he'll have a home. He'll have a home. He'll have some place to stay. He'll have somebody that he'll have brotherhood. Some people that is going to what? Help him change his condition, clean himself up. We got rehabilitation in here. We got food programming here. He won't starve ever again. You can help somebody with giving them the truth, man. That's what's going to give him. That's what's going to help them. But that gift, that money that you give him is only going to be something that's going to, temporarily aid his oppression, temporarily aid his suffering. But you can save his life by giving him the truth, and he being made to be free. You understand? Go ahead and give me what you got up.
You said Isaiah 3.
And 12.
Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12.
Go ahead.
As for my people,
go ahead.
Children are their oppressors.
Children are their oppressors. A lot of us celebrate these holidays because it's for the children. What about the children? What about the children? Like, look at the little eyes when they look at the TV, when they show all them commercials of them little toys, and they make the toys look super cool in the commercial, right? And when you finally buy it, it's a piece of junk. It's not what they expected. It didn't move like like it's moved on the TV. It don't roll like it rolled on the TV. It don't come with all the pieces. And nonetheless, we got to do it for the children. You know, they want it. They want the toy. You know, they want the tree. They want to go trick or treating. You got to do it for them. We got to do it. You know what I mean? We got to do it. Right, Mardokia? Because the kids. It's the kids. We got to do it for the children. Children are our oppressors, man. Children are our oppressors. Go ahead.
And women rule over them.
And women rule over them. You know what, baby? You know, like, I don't think we should celebrate Christmas this year. You know, we don't got that many. We don't got the funds like that. You know what I mean? It ain't in our budget really. Well, but we can put a little money to the side and we can celebrate. But look at John. Like, look at little man. Like, he want that toy. We gotta get it for him. We gotta celebrate Christmas. It's the only way to be. I mean, Cheryl and them is celebrating Christmas. Tatiana and them, they celebrating Christmas. You know, her husband ain't complaining about money. Women rule over them, man. Women rule over them, man. Most of men don't even want to celebrate these holidays anyway. We could care less about Christmas or getting ready for some holiday or paying to get some trees in our living room and have it and move it around and move stuff around and make a spot for it and have this. And nobody wants to do all. No man really wants to do that. Man just wants to get money, make sure we got food on the table, that we get everything that we need. You know, we'll buy gifts all year long. You know what I mean? We make those giving gestures all year. Right. Shit, the kids need Pampers. They need shoes. They need clothes. Right. You know what I mean? Your wife needs shoes, work uniform, new work outfit, hair done, and all that. Like, we do that all year. Right. What do you mean to celebrate Christmas for? Go ahead, Mardokia.
Right. And I was just about to say that it's like, man, like, we buy special needs stuff throughout the whole year. Like, why this specific day, this specific time frame, do we have to bow down to our oppressor and say, you know what, this day is set aside from all the other days,
right,
all the other gifts, all the other flowers, all the other diapers, all the other toys, right, all the other food, all the other dates. This day right here, this day is for America.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Like this day is just set aside for America and America only.
Right.
Because we are still slaves mentally. And I mean, of course, us, as far as Black Spanish and Native Indians,
us as a people.
A nation.
Right. You're right. Absolutely right, man. And like I said, these brothers don't be wanting to be celebrating that stuff. We be thinking about that budgeting we be doing, that financial management we be trying to do. Like, we got rent to pay, we got water bill, electric bill, car note, car insurance, gas, everything, food bill, gas. I mean, like, we gotta think about all these things. We still saving up to go on vacation. Still gotta be ready to get your wife hair done when she need to get her hair done. Got to get the kids new shoes, just field trip money, and school lunch and every week. Like, literally, we can, if you want a toy, we can go take them to the store, get them a toy right quick. But to be getting all of this money together to go put gifts under the tree to say we did it, no man really be down for all of that and really be interested in that. It really be them sisters that be like, why? Well, they doing it over there. We celebrate it every year. We can't. It's a tradition. We always celebrating that they got the nice house that you done help, that y'all done work hard all year, and they got it now. We gotta have Christmas here, so everybody can come over and we can have, they can see the new house. And listen, man, these women will convince brothers, and brothers will be against it all the way, and the kids will be begging and crying because at school they talking about Christmas at school. They're talking about Thanksgiving at school, so the kids coming home talking about Christmas, talking about Thanksgiving and every other holiday because their teachers is talking to them about it, and they go to the dentist and they asking them what they're gonna be for Halloween at the dentist, and everywhere you go, we just swallowed up in all of this European tradition. Right. So now the kids is begging, and they know so much about it, and they want to be a part of it, and you ain't trying to do it, but your wife is gonna say, well, we should do it because John, this and that, and they doing it over there, and he gonna be upset if we don't get him that toy. He gonna be, and that's why this scripture is heavy, man. Read that part, that verse again up.
Mm-hmm. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12.
Do it.
As for my people, children are their oppressors.
As for my people, children are their oppressors, man. Like our kids are running the earth today in violence.
Wow.
Violently killing one another, stealing from one another, doing all kind of lustful deviancies and just robbing and destruction and just they're out of control. Kids are our oppressors, man. They are the ones that's leading our future right now. They're the future of our people. Go ahead.
And this scripture is so heavy.
It
This
damn
scripture
sure
is so
is.
heavy, man, because it's to the point where it's like this is. I mean, like this is in the black community because you know why?
Right.
There's no black man in the house.
Right.
You understand? So the woman rule. I mean, the woman is going to rule over them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna give them exactly what they want, and that's why and that's why it's to the point where the kids get whatever they want at a young age.
Right.
Starting on up. It's like, man, okay, mama, I don't want this. Or, you know what I mean, like, if a father was in the household, like, oh, you know, go ask daddy. I mean, like, daddy going, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, like, okay, we really don't have that. Or, you know, let's wait until after this certain date, and then maybe we'll be able to get it. But no, you know, I mean, the oppressor want the black man out for what? So he'll be able to control the woman to be able to get that child exactly what they want in this given time right now.
You're right. You're right, Doc. You're right. In order to bind the strong man home and spoil his goods, you have to first bind the strong man. And the strong man's been bound, and now what? The mother, the woman, and the children are spoiled.
Right.
They're going bad. The children are oppressors. They run the household. These young boys, 4 or 5 years old, already don't listen to their mother because they look at her feminine spirit, and they just a boy, but has so much masculinity that they don't even listen to their mother no more. They ready to fight the mama at 5 years old, 6 years old. These little boys, man, young girls get up and they get the same size as their mother, and they think they a match for their mother. Like it's really they take that man to be in that household to keep that order. Like you're gonna respect your mother, and most importantly, you're gonna respect me. You understand? And to have that order. We ain't celebrating Christmas in here. You understand? Like General Muhammad said, today you're going to go home and show your family you are a true cult leader. You're going to show your family you are a cult leader. And we don't celebrate these stinking holidays that these heathens made up. And here we're going to do what the Lord gave us to do. We're going to celebrate the Lord's holy days, our holy days, man. For me and my people. You understand? Children will not be our oppressors. We're not listening to the kids in here. We're going to listen to me. You understand? And your wife ain't going to sway you or convince you to do nothing that the Lord told you not to do. You're going to stand firm, and you're going to do what the Lord told you to do. You see what happened to Adam and Eve, listening to his woman, to doing exactly what the Lord told her not to do. And what? Now he listened to his woman. Now they both been judged. You understand? We're not about to do that. It takes real strong men to be in a household to be able to keep our families from being spoiled, to keep our families from doing these dumb things like celebrating Christmas, to keep our families from being vulnerable. You know, women being snatched up, you know, for sex trafficking, kids, you know, turning to be homosexuals and, you know, and fighting their mothers. And it takes a black man, a strong black man, to be in the household. You're absolutely right. Once that black man is out of that household, the white man is in that household. You understand? The white man is in that household. Christmas is in that household. You know, weed is in that household. You know, homosexuality is in that household. That's what happens when you bind a strong man, when you get him out. Read that one more time, Baba Sean.
Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors.
Children are their oppressors. Go ahead.
And women rule over them.
And women rule over them. Go ahead.
And like, if I could,
you can
just add a little bit more.
Yep.
You understand? Because I mean, like you see it. I mean, like throughout social media, throughout the hoods of America, when that man is taken out, you understand, the woman is really hurt.
Right.
You understand? Like the woman don't want to be alone.
Right.
You understand? And what that causes, That causes, to bring in that marijuana. That causes to bring in that alcohol. That causes in for her to be a whore. And what does that do to the children? Good night. I mean, man, like, they looking up to mommy like, it's like, man, okay, well, if mommy don't have no order, why do I need order?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All because they don't want a black man in the household.
Right. Right, Doc. You're right, man. It was all strategic.
Right.
I mean, it was all designed. It was planned. You understand? Like when we read in Psalms 83, when it talks about, they are confederate against thee. They came together with one consent. They planned to take the black man out the household, out the picture. They knew that if they get the black man out the picture, if we get this people like this, if we beat them down enough and break the buck enough, then we'll run their entire nation. Because it don't stop at just the household. Like having a black man out the household affects the house, but if there's enough black men out of the home, out of all of these homes, then black people are under control. Black people as a nation are under control, are spoiled, man. That's why our communities look the way they look, because the black men are locked up or homosexual somewhere. And the kids are just in the neighborhood all times of the day, in the streets, all times of the night, from one house to the next house, being exposed to drugs and homosexuality and everything else, and unsafe and unattended to. And that's what's happening, man. Our black men have been taken out the home, and the community and the nation of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is spoiling, man. You know what I mean? And it's a sad thing because it angers the Lord, and we get destroyed because of it. He get killed because of it. But like you said earlier, thank God, thank the Most High Barakatha Yahweh for great leadership, for Commander General YAHANNA, man, and holding it down, holding these traditions down, and holding that truth down. For, like you said, me and you to know that Christmas is a wicked holiday. That that our oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. That that we have our own holy days, and we able to look forward to our holy days. You know what I mean? Brothers right now is getting hotel reservations, transportation for Passover. You know what I mean? We looking forward to Passover. Hanukkah coming up. We getting those dishes together. What foods we gonna bring? How we gonna do it? And we ready for this holiday, this holy day to come up. Hanukkah on Friday. You know what I mean? And brothers talking about bringing chicken pot pie. And, you know what I mean? Brothers talking about bringing casserole and. You know what I mean? Like some good stuff. We gonna eat. We gonna dine, and there ain't gonna be no anger in there. There ain't gonna be no wrath. Ain't gonna be no blasphemy. Everything we gonna be doing in there is gonna be out of the Bible. Everything. Communing together of good things. You know what I mean? Brothers, in their garments, and you know what I mean, and with the ancient, with the older brothers that are the seasoned officers, and seeing the young officers and the troopers that are coming up, and it's gonna be love there. It's gonna be. You know what I mean? No malice. It's going to be beautiful, man, because this is something that the Lord gave us. This is truly of the Lord. You know what I mean? So, where you at, Doc?
We still on verse 12, sir.
All right. Go ahead and finish it out.
O my people, they which lead thee.
O my people, they that lead thee, go ahead.
Cause them to err.
Cause them to err. Err means error, or to make mistakes, or to do wrong things, error. I mean, they that lead thee cause us to err. So having these kids in the community running wild, guess what? It leaves us in danger. You know what I mean? Because what? Bullets are flying through our windows and our houses and homes. You know what I mean? The gang violence. They out in the corner, gang banging on the corner. Kids can't even, families or kids, anybody can't even go to the store without maybe there being a fight breakout or a shootout. And it's unsafe. Women are running the household, and then what? The women are leading the black household for some decades now. You know what I mean? Because that war on drugs and mass incarceration did a number on the black community as far as getting black men out the household. So single parent homes has been well over 50% for decades now, and it's been mostly headed by women. They're mostly been headed by women. So women have been ruling over us for decades now. They've been running the household for decades, and they have been causing us to err. They've been causing us to go into destruction, to do silly things. All of those things that a black man would say no against or stop from happening, they freely do it, and they indulge in it, and they embrace it, and go into it head first. I'm talking about kids is dressed up with Halloween costumes, you know, that cost so much money from head to toe. They got all of the gadgets and the specifics, and Christmas, they got the blow up thing outside and the, you know, the tree with all of the ornaments and the cookies and the milk, and they really embrace it and go all out. And look what it's doing for our people, man. Look what it's doing for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. We are further destroyed. We are going into error. We are being destroyed, man. They cause us to error. Any more than that?
And destroy the way of thy path.
You understand? To do what?
And destroy the way of thy path.
And they destroy the way of our past, man. Because in the past, we wasn't celebrating Christmas.
Right.
In the past, we wasn't celebrating Thanksgiving and Halloween. In the past, we were not being homosexuals. We were not interracially marrying in our past. We were not, women were not ruling over their men in the past. You know, kids were not ruling over their mothers and their and over their households in the past. You know, we wasn't getting high in the past. You know what I mean? These are things that we do now, and they're destroying the past. They're destroying what the Lord gave us. So that's what's in the past. You understand? Those laws, statutes, commandments, those traditions and customs is what the Lord gave us in the past. You know what I mean? And he says, remember it throughout all your generations. And those generations, that memory in these generations has been cut off because children are our oppressors and women rule over them. And they that lead us cause us to err. You know what I mean? So now we have everything that Martin Luther King told us to do instead of everything that the Lord told us to do. You know what I mean? Everything that the white man got to give instead of everything that the Lord got to give.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything that the white man tells us to do instead of everything that the Lord told us to do. All right? You had something you want to say, Art?
Oh, no.
Let me get Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. You know what I mean? Like, what we bringing out today, man, should wake up, brothers. You know what I mean? Should wake up, sisters. Like, we got to change the narrative, man. We got to change this narrative. We got to take back what's ours.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the only way to be righteous. It's the only way to live. Like, Lord said he took Adam and raised him from the dust. He took Adam and raised him from a state of poverty, from a state of, like a wilderness, like, just being like how we are black people today. He took being from the dust. He taking Adam from the dust is taking him from a low state. And black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians are in a low state right now. We're at the bottom of every economic structure. We poor on. We don't have no spot at the UN. We don't have no land to call our own. We don't have no language of our own. We don't have currency of our own with our faces on it. We don't have no military that goes to fight in war for black people and black people only, or Hispanics and Native Indians. We don't have those things. We are in the dust now. We are in the dust. That's why when a lot of brothers say they made it, they be like, I started from the bottom, now I'm here. Or I got it out the mud, because that's where we're at. We're in the mud. We're at the bottom. We're in the dirt. We're in the dust, man. And the Lord said he raised Adam out of the dust and gave him the breath of life, man. So Adam was able to live and be holy and be different, be separate from everybody on the earth and rule over them. Just like he said, he gave Adam dominion over the people. He gave Adam dominion over the animals and the fish and the fowls in the air, the beasts of the field. He gave him dominion. He took him out. He took him from the bottom, put him up on, and raised him up high, and gave him authority and gave him life. And that's what our people need right now. Our people need the truth. They need the breath of life. They need those laws, statutes, commandments. They need these teachings that we're teaching here in the I.S.U.P.K, man, that the Lord's priests and prophets are teaching. They need these things. And then when they get that, then what? What comes with that is the authority. These brothers in the I.S.U.P.K have the authority in the earth. We have the dominion in the earth, where we rule over the nation of Israel. And what? That rulership would cause what? More order, more structure, more stability, more safety, more better health for our people. That's what it is. Black men being in the household is that strong man. This authority that we have in the I.S.U.P.K is the strong men that these homes need in order for us to be able to rise from the dust, man. In order for us to be able to rise from this low state of being in poverty and being manipulated and hunted by our oppressors, that's what's needed, man.
Right.
We need the breath of life, man. We need the authority of the black man back in the black communities, man. This is what we need. So read what you got, Baba Kushar.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Like I said, Ceramicus said that she believed Nimrod was a god. She believed that Nimrod was a god. And what do? We put Nimrod before the Most High. Because we was now worshiping Nimrod and going to some damn tree, some evergreen tree, that some nut chick said that represented the new life of Nimrod and give gifts. And now we what? Put another god before the Most High. Read it again.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
All that Thanksgiving and Halloween, that's all traditions of men and their gods, man. Christianity, that white Jesus, man. White Jesus and that Christianity doctrine. That white Jesus and that Christianity doctrine, that's all the worship of another God, man. That's not something that the Lord gave us. That's not something that the Lord gave us. That's not something that's in. It's nothing that they're talking about is in the Bible. Because to say that this man that they have the picture that's depicted as Jesus Christ is Jesus Christ is blasphemy, man. Because we read in the records in the Bible where it says that he was a black man.
Right.
You understand? It said that he's a black man. It said that he was austere. He had woolly hair and he had garments on. He had war belts on. He was a man of war. But we look at this picture and we see something different because Christianity and that Christian, Caesar Borgia, that white Jesus, is all the worship of a God, and that God is white people, man. That's what it is. Christianity is white supremacy, and that's why we end up time and time again being Christians and end up what? Putting what these white people are putting out there on our plates, putting it in our calendars, putting it in our lifestyles, in our traditions, in our minds, man. Celebrating all that stuff is going on in the Christian church, man. And it's all white supremacy, man.
Right.
It's all white supremacy, serving other gods, man. We put the white man. That's why it says. Who changed the truth of God into a lie? That serves that I'm paraphrasing, but it says who would serve the creature and not the creator.
Right.
You know what I mean? We serve the white man, and because of Christianity, and all in all, we don't serve the Lord anymore.
Right.
You know, we don't serve the creator. We serve white man now.
Right.
We serve Nimrod now. We serve, Halloween and the spirits and the astronomy and the stars and zodiacs. We serve those things. We serve ourselves. We serve Martin Luther King and his dream. That's what we serve. We don't serve the Most High. Go ahead, what you about to say?
Right. I was just going to pull out a precept inside and answer what you're saying now.
Baba Kushar.
First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their image. You understand? Like they opened up the book of the Most High, book of this law, which is only for black Spaniards and Native Indians, and they flipped it and they changed it where it's just so whitewashed and it brainwashes our people.
Right.
So got us believing that, oh man, this is what we have to celebrate. We have to celebrate everything Master says, which is our oppressor. We have to do everything that they tell us to do. We have to spend $7.2 billion in one day, all because this is what the oppressor wants us to do. You understand? We have to pray over our poor. You understand? We have to let our children have whatever they want to have, all because the oppressor tells us exactly what to do. All because they opened up this book.
Right.
You understand? The book that's only for the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
And they just revamped it in their own image.
Right.
They just revamped it in their own eyes.
Right.
You understand? And this is, like all oppressor is truly the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right. That's right. Read that scripture one more time.
Sir. First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 48.
Go ahead.
And lay open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
You understand? We open up the book of the law and we see the truth in the Bible.
Right.
We see where Christmas is frowned upon. We see where Jesus is a black man. We see, but what do we see when we go to church, which is supposed to be the house of God? We see otherwise. We see a white Jesus. We see, Christmas. We see Christmas being glorified. We see homosexuality being accepted. We see what? All of these things that the Bible that's not in the book of the law. That the book of the law says not to do. That the Bible shows us different. You know what I mean? So this is why, like I said, the Christianity is a false doctrine. And the Bible calls it the doctrine of devils. You understand? Because the deceivers created that doctrine called Christianity, and it's full of deception. Because, like I said, when they're saying Jesus is a white man, like I said, they paint these images of themselves. They liken themselves to the Most High, or when they tell a lie, they tell it of themselves, right? So we seeing the prophecy of what was being told. Like it said in Revelation, it said, I know thy works and thy tribulations. And I also know them who call themselves Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Like it's saying it right here, and we compare the scriptures and these records and the truth, and we compare it to Christianity and compare it to Judaism and everything else, and what they're teaching, and it absolutely contradicts what's being said in the Bible, man. You know what I mean? So we have to really get that Christianity out of our mind, man. We have to wash our mind and pour out all of that stuff that's in our mind, pour it out, so we could be able to be filled with new wine. You understand? So we could be able to be filled with new wine, which is this truth that's pure and sound doctrine, man. And it's going to really change Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians' lives, their children, their communities, their financial position. It's going to change marriages, relationships, and women are going to stay with their men. Men are going to stay with their women, and what? And it's going to raise their kids, 2 parents in the household, and those kids are going to be raised the right way, and it's going to be free of all of these blasphemous things, man. Free of all of these spoiling things, all of these wicked things that are being created or glorified by heathens, man. Go ahead.
Right. I just got a famous quote from Jeremiah.
Go ahead.
My brain has been washed, and I won't let it get dirty again.
Most High in Christ, and that's just what we have to do, man. We have to wash our brains so that and never let it get dirty again, man. We have to get in this, hear this truth, learn this truth, and push all of that stuff that's in our head that we were lied about, that deception of Christianity and Christmas and everything that we were taught. There's so much that goes into it beyond Christianity and beyond holidays. So much that we've been lied about. Even our identity, calling ourselves African, calling ourselves American. You know what I mean? All of these things, man. These alternative lifestyles and sexual orientation. Like we thinking that it's genetic and we can be born this way. All of these things are deception, man. It's lies. And then we can now push those things out and never let it back in again, man. You know what I mean? Let me drop that and let me get Ecclesiastes. We was already there, 7 and 1 this time. Instead of 7 and 7, let me get Ecclesiastes 7 and 1. All right? Ecclesiastes 7 and 1. And this just to put the nail in the coffin, man. Because, like I said, Christmas is supposed to be Jesus Christ's birthday. Right? It's supposed to be Jesus Christ's birthday, and we're supposed to celebrate it to celebrate his birthday. And just like we celebrated our birthday, just like we celebrated their birthday or her birthday or everybody's birthday. Every time that somebody's birthday come around, we got to celebrate Jesus' birthday. And that's what Christmas is all about, but we're going to show you that is a lie. Read what you got,
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 1. A good name is better than precious ointment.
A good name is better than precious ointment, man. Like, we think that having money and gain, financial gain, makes us reputable. It makes us somebody who's renowned. But it's not. It's the things that you do, your actions that make you. That's why when the Bible says what? I will make man in my image, meaning I will make man in my reputation. And my not his physical image, but in reputation, to be able to do work and to have rulership or authority or dominion. And that's what it was. That's what means something. You know what I mean? Christ's name Christ wasn't known for the amount of money he had and the riches and the kingdom he ruled over. He wasn't known for those things. He was known for his reputation, man. for what the things that he did, his actions, his sacrifices, his loyalty. That's what he was known for. Am I wrong, Maridagi? That's what he was known for. A good name is better than a precious ointment, man. That's what Christ was known for. He was known for his actions. Go ahead.
Precious ointment in the day of death, in the days of
The day of what?
birth. The day of death.
The day of death, go ahead.
Then the day of one's birth.
Then the day of one's birth. So it's saying that a day of one's death is better than the day of one's birth. What does that mean? So that means that we should be go back there, go that way, go. We should be celebrating, you know what I mean? We should celebrate what men and women have done in their life that were good and honorable, instead of celebrating their giving of life. You know what I mean? Their birth. Instead of celebrating their birth, because when a baby is born, what has a baby done or accomplished to be remembering all these years? For 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. What are we celebrating this person's birth for when you're born, you haven't done anything? You didn't do nothing on the day of birth, but besides be born and take your first breath. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't do anything. But by the time a man or a woman dies, maybe they have done some things. Maybe they have done some things that are honorable. Maybe they have done some things that are sacrificial, or loyal, or respectable, you know what I mean, or worthy of praise. And that will be something that you would be looking to celebrate for. You would celebrate that. That's why today we remember Christ. Why? Not because he was born in a damn manger. No, we remember Christ because he died for our sins, man. He died for our sins. He carried out a mission that the Most High gave him to do, and that is an honorable and valiant thing to do. And we celebrate his honor, we celebrate his valiance, we celebrate his loyalty, his strength, his courage, his discipline, his order, his miracles, you know what I mean, his duty. We celebrate those things, man. That's what we celebrate. We don't celebrate him being born in the manger. We celebrate him waking up the dead, making the dead speak, making the blind see. Right. That's what we celebrate. So if you think that Christmas is Jesus Christ's birthday, even if it was, you shouldn't be celebrating it, because nobody celebrates birthdays in Israel. Nobody celebrates birthdays. Why? Read it one more time, that last part.
In the day of death, than the day of one's birth.
Because we would rather celebrate what somebody did before they died, before celebrating somebody being born. That's just what it is. That's why. You understand? But furthermore, Jesus Christ was not born in the wintertime. And we just broke down Christmas in the Bible. Right. And we went into the history and showed and told you, you know what I mean, where Christmas originated. So it's all lies, man. And there's so many lies beyond that and beyond that. Lies on top of lies on top of lies. The best thing that you can do is stay in class. There's classes going on from here, from East Coast to the West Coast in America, South America, Central America, UK, the islands, you know, all over. There's classes going on. And they different times of the day, different days of the week. You get up in this loop and you can continuously learn and learn and learn and wash away those lies. Get on YouTube, I.S.U.P.K on YouTube. Check out the videos, these classes. Check out the camp speakings. You know what I mean? We have events, we have lectures that are very informative and very educational. We got events. We got events like cookouts where we feed the community, right. do charity. We got different offices in the school, counseling for brothers and sisters, counseling for men and women, individuals, for couples, families, what have you. We got food program, prison program, where we care for those brothers and sisters that are in prison, that are incarcerated. We give them food for physically, we give them food spiritually, and we're there for them, man. You know what I mean? We got rehabilitation for brothers and sisters that are dealing with weed addiction, that are dealing with tobacco addictions, that are crack cocaine, pills, Percocets, you know what I mean, lean, all of that. We have rehabilitation where we counsel brothers and provide a real 12-step program to get in brothers and sisters off of drugs. And most importantly, we have brotherhood in here, and we're going to commune good things in the I.S.U.P.K, and you'll be able to get rid of all of those lies and get the truth put into your mind. And guess what the scriptures say? that you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Right.
With that, I'm going to pass the class over to Precinct Officer Maradaki.
It's the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, gives to the treasury department or teacher. Priest from. Free will offering for priests not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you will like. Upcoming holy convocations will be the Feast of Dedication, HaKanukkah, 25th day of the 9th month by space of 8 days. This falls on Friday, December 20th. For 8 days. You can find this in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52 through 61. We remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, and headband scarf. With that, shalom.
Let everybody know that if they need assistance in getting to Passover, to contact the school.
Concert. And of course, we do have the Passover coming up.
I
April.
don't know about HaKanukkah. You said it's about
Yeah. COMCAST. I did bring out the HaKanukkah December 20th. Of course, if you do need transportation, just contact us. We do have it on a ticker if you are tuning in on the online classes, as well as a Passover as well too. April 9th of next year is going to be in White Plains, New York. You understand? Of course, for more information, just contact the ticker. We have a phone number and also an email as well too, where you'll be able to get in contact with us. All right. Shalom, Israel.